Lesson 7. Comparing and contrasting characters in book clubs. So let's begin the lesson. Let's review first of all. We read The Templeton Twins Have an Idea and prepared for our book club roles. We only read chapters 1 to 3. Today we will meet with our book clubs to discuss The Templeton Twins Have an Idea, compare and contrast Feynman's father with the Templeton Twins' father. This is a list of what you will need. So we're going to engage in a book club meeting. In book clubs, we come prepared, having read the chapter and jotted down ideas, explain our ideas, referring to information from the text, making connections with others' ideas. Word Wizard leads the discussion. Which words did you add to your vocabulary chart? Work in book clubs to determine their meaning. So you're going to write the word right here. The Word Wizard is supposed to write the word right here. How is it used in the context? How is it used in the text? Inference, what I think this word means, what you think this word means, the evidence, what you know the word means. Character captain, then you're going to discuss the characters. Add Abigail and John to your character charts. Add any additional details you found about the professor and the narrator. So you have 4 characters right now. You have the narrator, the professor, Abigail, and John. When the narrator introduces Abigail and John, what information are we given? What might this information tell us? What do Abigail and John do that is unusual for kids their age? What might this tell us about their characters? What else did we learn about the professor in these chapters? What about the narrator? Make sure you are using the conversation stems. The goal is to get you guys using these statements. So you're saying, please clarify, I disagree with, I agree with, I want to add on, take your time, we'll wait, who wants to change their thinking. Okay, so some of your answers may include Abigail has brown eyes and dark hair. She is very smart when it comes to words, is very creative and inventive and independent because she makes her own dinner and she wants a dog. When you're writing about John, he has brown eyes and dark hair, is extremely clever when it comes to devising plans and putting them into action, likes to say, let's do it, and view it, and also is independent and wants a dog. But most of your answers, some of your answers can vary. But the professor, you can write about the professor that he's very sad about his wife. He doesn't spend much time with the twins. He is very distracted and he is impressed by the twins' clever invention. Okay, in your reading log, create a timeline of the events that have occurred so far. The timeline tracker leads the discussion. Remember the beginning, Professor Templeton argues with a student. Next, Templeton twins were born. 12 years later, the twins' mother dies. What happens next, and so on. So make sure you're adding events from the 2 prologues, chapter 1. Make sure there's a 12-year gap right here that you understand. What is the most important thing that happened in chapters 2 and 3? How much detail do we need to include on our timeline in order to remember that event? Use your conversation stems. Okay, let's discuss. Let's express our understanding. The discussion director leads this question. How is the Templeton twins' father similar to and different from Feynman's father? Think about it. You can jot it down in your compare and contrast chart. And these are the guiding questions. What does it mean for 2 people to be very similar or to be similar? What does the word similar mean? Where have you heard this word before? What does it sound like? What do the 2 fathers have in common? Where did you find that in the text? What are some ways the two fathers are different? Where do you find that in the text? Make sure you're looking for differences and similarities. So, for example, it seems like the two fathers have a lot in common. For example, they are both fathers and they both love science. But let's think about some ways that they are different. We know that the main idea of the Feynman's text is that Feynman's father taught him to observe the world around him and to find it interesting, right? But let's look back at chapter 3 of the Templeton Twins. Was the professor observing the world around him in that part of the text? No, in fact, he was so distracted that he didn't even notice Abigail and John's invention until the picture of the dog was right in front of his face. So let's close. In this lesson, you learned how Feynman's father is similar to and different than the Templeton Twins' father. You also practice engaging in discussions, determining the meaning of the unknown words, analyzing characters, and plotting the events in a literary text.